Tonight on DC News Now.
Venezuelans from around the DMV react to Nicolas Maduro's capture. How people are feeling as the country's future remains uncertain.
3 people are dead after a shooting at a banquet hall. The update police gave us moments ago. Then temperatures are climbing this week. Meteorologist Damon Madsen is tracking how warm it could get. Also, a local church is stepping in to help others. A collection covering rent for several families facing homelessness. And we have the story. And as we get into the new year, you may want to get in the habit of saving money. We're stretching your dollar with a new trend that can help you out.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall. Annalisa Gale has the evening off. Well, tonight, Venezuela's president says that he's innocent and he pleads not guilty to federal drug trafficking charges. Nicolas Maduro making his first appearance in a New York City courtroom earlier today. Maduro declared that he is a decent man, saying that he was captured and insists he's still president of his country. U.S. protesters allege that Maduro and his allies worked with drug cartels to move large quantities of cocaine into the United States, and charges that could result in life in prison. Now, his legal team is expected to challenge the arrest, arguing Maduro is immune as a head of state. Now, all this comes after the U.S. captured and brought him and his wife to the U.S. on Saturday. Right here in the district, it's home to thousands of Venezuelans, and many of them coming to the U.S. during Maduro's rule. Some of them took to the streets to rally over the weekend, others staying in touch with family back home. Now, we find DC News Now's Randy Bass near the Venezuelan embassy in Georgetown with more from the community. Randy, a lot of opinions out there.
Yes, and for many people close to the Venezuelan community right now, it's about processing everything that happened over the weekend and figuring out what's still to come for the nation as the country faces an uncertain path forward. Thousands of Venezuelans call the DMV home, some of them finding their way to D.C.'s Simon Bolivar statue and the White House, alongside other people rallying this weekend upon hearing the news of leader Nicolas Maduro's capture.
So many emotions, happiness, the feelings, I can't explain it, but we feel it as a Venezuelan.
Let Venezuela solve its own problems.
Others staying connected to their family and culture at a turbulent time. Maria del Rosario Montero works at Venezuelan restaurant Arepa Zone on 14th Street. She spoke to DC News Now through a translator Monday, walking us through her emotions this weekend.
Emotion, because now with this we can feel that we can return back to our homes in Venezuela.
She says it's been hard to be here in the U.S. watching as things are turbulent back home. The nation now left in a state of confusion without a clear leader or path forward.
Yeah, very, very difficult to have my family in Venezuela. I'm here, but that is a part of like a dream work. So I hope that this nightmare ends and all the prisoners or political prisoners got out, innocence, so everything ends in a good way.
And as for any local security increases around D.C. following Maduro's capture, we spoke with the D.C. Police Department. They tell us they stand ready to adjust if the circumstances change. In Northwest, I'm Randy Bass, D.C. News Now.
All right, Randy, thank you. And ahead at 4:30, DC News Now's Rashad Hudson is breaking down more on what happened in the courtroom. And for the latest on the strikes in Venezuela, you can head to our website, dcnewsnow.com. Let's talk weather and heading over now to meteorologist Damon Madsen with the first look at our forecast. Damon, are we expecting a winter warm-up?
Well, Mark, we are going to set the stage, and yes, as the week progresses, we're going to feel completely different than how we've started this new year in this month of January. And we had some of that over the weekend that lingered into the early morning hours to start out our day today. Oh, it was still rather cold, in the 20s for most, and there were several spots, mainly across the central part of Northern Virginia, that stayed in the teens as well. But we saw a nice rebound as we made it through the afternoon afternoon. Now, we only reached the low 40s, 41 to be exact right now in D.C., but along and east of the Blue Ridge, yeah, we had those cooler temperatures. Meanwhile, looking off to the west of the Blue Ridge, it's in the 50s out toward Woodstock, more so those upper 40s in Luray, 45 even in Kaiser, and that's the result of a little bit of added sunshine. Many of us to the east just didn't see very much in the way of sunshine throughout the afternoon, and that did make a little bit of a difference when it came down to our temperatures. Now, today we only made that small step in the warmer direction. We'll hang out in the 40s as we head into the night, and really as clouds blanket more of the area heading into the night, those temperatures will not be tumbling quite as much as they did last night. We will only see readings in the middle and upper 30s. That's it by the time we hit Tuesday morning, and that sets the stage for even warmer days to come. So how much will that thermometer keep rising as we head throughout the week? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. A violent start to the new year in Prince George's County, where police are investigating multiple deadly shootings, and police say that the suspect wanted in a deadly triple shooting at a banquet hall in Temple Hills over the weekend has been taken into custody. DC News Now's Liberty Simmons is live at police headquarters in Upper Marlboro. Liberty, what's the latest in the investigations?
Well, Mark, the Maryland State's Attorney is calling this violent weekend disappointing after Prince George's County worked so hard to accomplish a 40% drop in homicides last year, now welcoming the new year with 4 people dead.
These are 2 different incidents that have multifaceted outcomes and different people involved.
Prince George's County Police welcoming the new year with multiple homicides. On Saturday, police responded to Irving's Banquet Hall on St. Barnabas Road for a birthday party that ended in gunfire.
There was a dispute that occurred inside. They went outside. 3 of those individuals willingly participated in the gunfight.
Police say 3 men died, but they do have a suspect, Antonio Lancaster, in custody. During the fight, officers say victims Kayvon Williams and Pierre Davis shot and killed each other. Then they say Lancaster shot and killed victim Ronez Proctor. The county now shutting down the banquet hall.
Having establishments open that late at night without security is a problem. And it's a problem that will not be tolerated in Prince George's County.
On Sunday, officers investigated another shooting on Watkins Park Drive, where they found a 65-year-old man in a car with a gunshot wound. He died at the scene. Officers found 2 other victims on Campbellton Drive, 1 male shot in the leg and 1 female shot in the stomach, both recovering at the hospital. They have a person of interest in custody for all 3 victims.
They were all 3 unrelated to one another. We don't think it was a DC sniper type incident, but we do believe one individual was responsible for all of those shootings. The motive behind it, we're still looking at.
And now the suspect arrested in connection to the Temples Hill shooting faces murder and attempted murder charges. We also reached out to Irving's Banquet Hall for a comment on the closure, and we have yet to hear back. For now, live here in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, Liberty Simmons, DC News Now.
All right, Liberty, thank you. Virginia State Trooper recovering after a car crash in Alexandria over the weekend. It happened Sunday on I-495 near Eisenhower Avenue. The trooper was trying to stop a car who they say was driving recklessly, but the driver didn't stop, resulting in a chase. That trooper had to stop the chase to avoid hitting other cars, and the trooper's car then went off the road and then hit a tree before rolling over. The trooper was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The crash is still under investigation. Well, tomorrow marks 5 years since the Capitol riots, and today a new report was released, and Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee revealing crimes committed by rioters. And the report revealed at least 23 people charged in connection to the riots have since gone on to commit new crimes. And those crimes include plotting to murder the FBI agents, the assault, possession of child pornography, along with other charges. And the president pardoned nearly all January 6 defendants on his first day in his second term. Of those who were pardoned, at least 159 had criminal records prior to the Capitol riots. Meantime, the plaque that recognized law enforcement officers who were at the Capitol during those riots is nowhere to be found at the Capitol. The Associated Press reporting that the plaque is believed to be in storage. Now, while the plaque is required by law to be displayed, the Trump administration is looking to drop a lawsuit asking for it to be displayed. The Maryland Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin says that those officers' contributions to their country should never be forgotten.
Those officers need to be honored. They should have a very important place in American history and certainly in the history of this institution.
About 100 members of Congress, mostly Democrats, have displayed replica plaques outside of their offices. Now, while the Commanders beat the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday evening 24-17, it was a disappointing season, which has now come to a close, a 5-12 finish for the year, and after ending 2024 with a 12-5 record and a trip to the NFC title game. All right, sports director Derek Forrest, he joins us now. And Derek, obviously the Commanders cleaning out their lockers today, which is certainly common practice when the season ends, but there's always next year, right?
Yeah, it's always next year, and we actually knew this day was coming for a really long time, probably the middle of October, end of October, that the Commanders weren't going to make the postseason. So unfortunate year for them, but the Commanders finally end a nightmare season. Only 5 wins on the year, as you mentioned, Mark, along with a laundry list of injuries. Now, Tiger Munn was in Ashburn, Virginia, as the players cleaned out their locker, and they talked about the season and what the offseason will hold.
The Washington Commanders wrapped up their season with a win in Philadelphia on Sunday, and they come into Ashburn on Monday to clean out their lockers for the final time as they finally wrap up a long and grueling season. Guys were able to see their teammates and coaches one last time before they took off for the offseason, and here's what the players had to say as they wrap up 2025.
You know, with injuries come with every team, but a lot of our core guys went down, and it was, you know, with those things happening, you know, it's kind of hard to fight back. But in this league, it's like a next man up mentality. I think the rookies did a good job of stepping up and playing.
Obviously not the season we wanted to have, but that's okay. You know, you learn from it, you grow from it, and just figure out ways to get better.
For me, it's coming back healthy, having a full off season so I can, you know, be here and grow with Jaden, grow with the guys that are here. I think that'll just be great for everybody, just give them more sense of normalcy. But
yeah, I think as a competitor, you don't want to have a locker room clean out this early. You want to be in the dance, so most definitely motivation for next year, but that's just not how the cards were dealt this year was.
And that will do it for the Commanders' 2025-26 NFL season. The next most important date for this team, April. That'll be the NFL draft as the team looks to retool and come back into the next season with a vengeance. Reporting in Ashburn, I'm Tiger Munn, DC News Now.
All right, thank you very much, Tiger. Yeah, disappointing season for the Commanders. The defense wasn't really much to look at, and the offense couldn't get anything going because Jaden Daniels had missed, only played in 7 games. So disappointing for them. But another team with a disappointing season, that's the Baltimore Ravens, who ended up falling to the Pittsburgh Steelers last night. The Steelers win that game after a missed field goal by Tyler Loop of the Ravens. So the Ravens now go home while Pittsburgh will be in the playoffs.
Exciting game. That game, as you know, that rivalry, usually the games go down to the wire. This one, no different, but there was just a lot of big plays in that third and fourth quarter, man.
Yeah. And there's a lot of Monday morning quarterback in terms of what should have happened down the stretch of that game. But yeah, unfortunate. The Ravens on the bad side of history over the last couple of years when it comes down to the end of the year.
You wonder if those Monday morning quarterbacks should go in the coaching since it's that easy, right? Exactly. All right, Darren. Thank you.